Hey everybody. So this is something that came to me a few weeks ago. Well, actually, I mean, well, it's something that's been there for a minute. Like I say, a minute for a couple years now. But it can resurged with some pretty intense frequency a few weeks ago, and it's just the idea of like perhaps you know maybe it's better to just be friends. Like again, man, a lot of the reason why I feel so it's just weird. We live in a time to where like I literally feel like this is part of the issue of me being me, and in this reality is I say things as I'm very open with fucking everything. I don't like secrets. I don't like hiding shit. I don't like playing little games to say things to fucking fuck people up and get them to do this and that. Like I don't like doing that shit. I really don't. Now I've done my share of fucked up things in the past, so I'm not a stranger to it, but I don't condone it and I don't want to perpetuate it. And when I do it, I feel bad and I try to make up for it. And a lot of the issue is because, I'm so forthcoming and just upfront with my truth and how I feel. It like perturbs people. It disturbs people. Like literally, I've seen like it moves people away. I've been told literally in like therapy classes, like I'm too much. Like I say, like there's one time in therapy class and I'm hearing everybody's problems, and it's like I was sitting here listening to it for a while, and it was finally my time to speak, and I'm like, what I'm seeing is you guys you're lacking in love. Like that's clearly what the issue is here. You can mix it up in all these different types of ways, but it's essentially it's a lack of loving yourself, and which in order to really do that, you got to know who you is, because otherwise you could be spending all this time and energy on something that's not even really who you are. And this is why people have a disconnect and have so many disorders and dysfunctions, because they're taking care of a side of themselves that's not even really who their heart wants them to be. But like we grow up in a world, especially here in America, and it's different in other places, but here in America there is a notion, there is a way of doing things, there is a culture that is perpetuated and put upon you without your choice. Like you're just in here being around all this shit, like, in your level of evolving is your choice. That you do have a choice in, but you have no once you're born in this situation, like you can't really just change your environment. Like you got to deal with it as it fucking is. So we all absorb things. Epigenetics has told us through a study of Dr. Bruce Lipton, our cells are absorbing our environments all the time. The information, the structures, all the shit around, the good and the bad. So it's like we live in a world where we're not, like, that should be one of the first fundamental things that you do in school, is help people figure out who they really are, like what their soul pattern is, what they're good at, what they need to work on, the issues, the karmic, all these types of things, and also what they want to be. And like, okay, once you hear that, let's think that over. As an adult, as somebody educated with wisdom, let's think about like what that person said. Like, is what they're talking about doing something that's going to be good for them and the rest of the world? And if so, maybe let's help them cultivate that. Or do they have some intentions that are more nefarious? And maybe we should pay attention to that and figure out what's going on with this individual, that he has these nefarious desires. Like, and it can stem from little things like addictions, like, I'm just going to be honest with you, like serial killers, like there's a lot of red flags that show that they have the potentiality to do really bad things. Not just serial killers, rapists, criminals, murderers, all these things, people with greedy issues, like all this shit. There's signs that lead up to it. For my addiction, there was a sign. When I started drinking Diet Coke, I loved the shit, and I was like, one was good, and I kept on wanting more. Like that right there, from if I was a parent and I saw my child, like, okay, he's wanting Diet Coke, but he continues to want more. I also the same thing with food. I would want to fucking eat as much food as possible, especially pizza. And it's like, knowing about things and addiction and this and that, it's like, that's a fucking cursor. That dude loves to consume. He has an issue, or he has a potential to have a serious issue with his carnal desires. So with that being said, since we're aware of this and we know this now, let's do things to help give him the best education and wisdom he needs or could use, that we have found to be the most helpful in helping, transmutate people from going down that alley or that trajectory of being a fucking hardcore drug addict. Maybe because there's a good thing to it. Like, it's not all bad. Like, drug addicts, like, get really in depth into any type of addiction, whether it's drugs, sex, food, whatever it may be, power. That just shows that they have an intensity to get really involved into whatever it is they're doing, which can be good or bad. It can be bad if it's something that's bad for you in the world, and it can be good if it's something that's good for you in the rest of the world. So it's like, for me, when I choose to work out or do things that are good for the world and myself and what I love to do, I can get really involved into it, and it can be really good, and I can perpetuate a lot of goodness for myself and others. The same is true with drugs. So it's like, but if people are taught this at an early age, at least they're going to have the information and they'll know why they are the way that they are. But even with myself, I had no clue. I thought I was just like for a while there, I was just like, I thought I was just obsessed with like self-destruction. I just wanted to kill myself. And it's like, no, I mean, there is that there, but a lot of it's just because I've been perpetuating those rituals for so long, and I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted in life, but I knew I had this escapism type thing that fulfilled my void. So I kept on fucking with that because nothing else was doing it for me. But again, if we lived in a world where people had the opportunity to work on things that they loved and had the resources to help provide that for them, we wouldn't have as many of these issues. So anyways, I thought I'd just share that. All right, love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.